I'm a Stanford Red. But, yeah, I'm fired up for this duel today, Chris. This is going to be awesome action.
Bowman, thanks for joining me. All the way up and down the lineup card in this duel, it is just going to be fun. What are you most looking forward to?
You know, really the match of the night to me is the 165-pound match between Travis Whitlake and our very own national champion, Shane Griffith. It's going to be a barn burner.
Shane's a guy who you mentioned is really a lot of fun to watch in the practice room, but Stanford has the coaching staff and they have the kind of supporting cast such that he does have some hard rounds.
Absolutely. He's got some great workout partners. Grant Leaf is a little left-handed tank, and he gives Shane everything he wants in the room. You know, I've rarely seen as good of a technician as Vincenzo Joseph. I mean, very special coach. And then he's got Tyler Berger, who is – they don't get much better than Tyler Berger. He is quick as a cat.
Yeah, you ever get lost down the YouTube rabbit hole?
Well, you know, I have more fun just watching these guys in the room, but absolutely YouTube's where it's at.
I got lost down the burger rabbit hole this morning.
He's a bad dude.
Yeah. Well, they're getting ready for the starting lineups, and we'll have the anthem as well. And we are front and center right in front of the S here at Maples Pavilion. I know Burnham Pavilion oftentimes hosts these duels, but this one is a big one, and so this is absolutely big enough to have at Maples Pavilion.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of local people here in attendance. The whole wrestling community is out here, and they're supporting the Stanford Cardinals. Here comes the Cowboys. Here we go.
And they're out in order. We saw John Smith earlier and the supporting cast. And by the way, just about all of them said hi to you.
There's AJ Ferrari, Mr. Fast Twitch.
We'll take a brief break for the anthem, and then we'll have wrestling when we're back.
Here we go.
Well, they'll give us the lineups here. You might have heard it in the background. Number 4 versus number 14. Both these programs have a lot to smile about it. I was looking up at the flag during the anthem, and you just see the Directors' Cup in order from 95 to 2019, uninterrupted.
That's impressive.
Stanford does not lose that Directors' Cup award. University of Florida comes close. There's a couple of times that other schools have been in the vicinity, but programs like wrestling are a big part of the driving force behind really the reason why Stanford year in and year out collects those accolades. And the acumen of the Stanford athletics program as a whole is strong, and for yet another year, wrestling is poised for success, and it's bittersweet. It really is.
Yeah, Stanford does an amazing job being top-notch in all areas. You know, what a treat to be on the Stanford campus today. What a match we got going here, kids. This is going to be phenomenal. Jaden Abbas, a crowd favorite.
Looking up the kind of acumen of Oklahoma State, I mean, they need no introduction, really. You got to go back to 2016 to find a Hodge winner, but you've got guys in national championship contention every single year. When was the last time you can remember that they didn't have a guy contending for a national championship on an individual level?
It's been a while. It's been a while for a long time. I think this was the first year in 2020 that Oklahoma State did not have a representative on the Olympic team, even though they did qualify. The 65-kilo guy, Jordan Oliver, did qualify, but he didn't qualify the weight for the Olympics. So Oklahoma State has been at the highest level for a very long time.
And there's some notables in the stands. This is an extremely well-attended event, even probably as well or better attended than other Stanford duels in the past. And yes, it is Oklahoma State. But at the same time, I mean, I got look behind me, and it's just as full behind us. I know you can't see that on camera. You can only see across from us. But if you look behind us, it is just as full, and that's great to see.
Yeah, everybody's full of excitement about what Rob Cole and his staff brings to the program. I know I've been impressed watching him work.
So we'll go in this standard order from lightest to heaviest, it appears. And we mentioned we're looking forward to that Griffith and Whitlake matchup. And there's a couple other pretty intriguing matchups up and down the card, but there's one matchup that we think might not take place that we were looking forward to as well.
Which weight was that, Chris?
I was looking forward to 184 as well, but it looks like maybe there's going to be a shakeup there, so we'll see. Should be.
Here comes Dayton Fix out to the center. World runner-up this year, just took second in the world. 61 kilos.
See the guy you said you saw him in 8th grade?
I actually got a chance to work out with Dayton when he was a 14-year-old, and what a crafty young man. I mean, I was totally blown away by his technique and his craftiness and just his will to win. It's no surprise that he's on this level now.
What do you tell a guy like that if you come across a special talent at 14 that's on that level? I mean, it's hard to, I mean, maybe once or twice in your life kind of a thing.
I think as a coach, you just got to not mess it up, right? If they're that motivated, that says a lot. Big match coming up here, 125. Mastrovani, Trevor Mastrovani, who was a big-time high school wrestler. This should be a heck of a match. Logan, very scrappy, very tough. Logan Ashton, single leg guy. Let's see what happens.
Conventional stance for both. Ashton, kind of a quick push off. 3 points on the ground and then ties up. You are watching on not only the Pac-12 stream, but you can also catch this on GoStanford.com. Easy to find on the wrestling page.
Mastrovani working the center. He's very big for 125. Long, kind of a typical East Coast style. He likes to ride.
Lanky. He looks slightly more top heavy.
Mm-hmm.
In fantastic shape.
He's looking for that left-handed underhook.
Looked like he had the advantage tied, but they were on the edge.
Logan needs to get off that edge.
Shucks away. I saw you coach that movement, that little shuck, and then you can hit a double from there.
Absolutely. Want to turn the guy around, get your butt to the center.
A little bit too much distance. It was low single territory at best, but just feeling each other out in the early going.
You can tell Mastrovani is trying to dominate the center, keep Logan on the outside. Logan needs to fight to the inside.
Logan Ashton just feeling the pressure. Cups with the right hand.
About halfway through the first period, no real attacks yet from either guy.
They both stand more upright for just a moment. Maybe a half shot, kind of all we've seen in the offense department, at least on paper.
I feel like Mastrovani's trying to do something with that underhook. He wants to snap and get his head underneath. Now he's going to work here. Now he's going to work. Yeah, I knew that was a bad position for Logan there. Okay, he's got to get one.
Got it. 57 seconds left to work. A half mat return.
I don't anticipate any intentional releases from Mastrovani. This is his wheelhouse. He wants to be on top.
He looks at home. There is the return. Almost a Granby through, but So that mat return, sometimes they teach you to actually not bring the guy all the way up. But I guess when you're on the edge, maybe it makes a little more sense to elevate that high.
Well, I think he was just trying to get a good hard slam out of it, but Logan did a good job trying to Granby on the way. Kind of got caught on his back and then rolled through out of bounds. Okay, there's an intentional release. 30 seconds in the period. I know his coaches are going to be encouraging him to get another one.
Balance. That balance always kind of just right on the toes. No stance switches necessary.
Well, these college guys all have excellent stances. I mean, they're so low, and their center of gravity on the inside of their feet. All right, we got 2-1.
First stanza down.
28 seconds of riding time for Master Giovanni.
He'll choose bottom, as you can see on your screen, facing
Okay.
our camera. Hooks are in.
Logan wants to knock those arms out and stretch him out, get him flat. A little high right there.
He's looking for that crossbody.
Pull those arms forward. Arch your back. Arch your back. There he goes. There he goes.
Wow. He kinked
Nice
that,
job, Logan.
kinked that neck pretty well, and it was a nice little diversion, too.
Mm-hmm.
He's looking to free
It's
that
almost
left
like
wrist.
he's looking for a call there the way he's flailing around.
It's funny. As he's right in front of the ref, he can kind of sell it a little bit.
Yeah. Ref's not going to let him stay too parallel like that for too long. As long as he's got his back arch, and the guy flat, it's going to give him some time.
It's a sharp catch right there. The difference between me and you just immediately see that that's more of an optics thing.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
All right. There's stalemate. So he got the riding time reversed back in his favor now, 26 seconds in Logan's favor. He might be looking to ride out this period. He's got a minute left.
Easy up.
Okay.
And a clean escape, so.
He made him work for it.
3-1 your score.
Master Giovanni's got him right back on the edge, working that left-handed underhook again.
Giovanni really looks big.
Yeah, he's a big 25. Logan's got to make something happen here in this period. 30 seconds in the period.
30 second period. 30 seconds.
I'm looking at Logan's vision. His vision doesn't seem to be looking at the guy's hips and legs. It's looking like he's looking to more hand fight than take a shot right now.
15 seconds. 10 seconds.
Both guys content to let the period kind of go.
4 seconds.
Okay, nice shot. That's the second time he's done that where he's gone for the underhook, pulled the head down to get Logan to come up in his stance and kind of drop back in on a high crotch. That seems to be what he's looking for on his feet. Master Giovanni's going to try to ride here for at least 30 seconds, get that riding time. I wouldn't have done that.
He's got to work back
Reaching
up.
back, got him flat now. It's going to be hard to get up from that flat position.
Got to work back up to a base now.
In college wrestling, when you get flat like this, that's not easy to get back up to your knees. That's a good 30 seconds before you can build back to your base against a tough guy.
And you can see the way the legs are in, just incredibly suffocating. And sure enough, riding time is reversed.
Mm-hmm.
That's the cheer from the crowd.
Yeah,
An educated crowd at Maples Pavilion, and you always see that for wrestling duels at Stanford.
Yeah, Santa Clara Valley is in the house tonight. Oh, nice. Wrestle, 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 wrestle.
Wow, that's a good little reversal, and
Okay,
just shucks
well
off
there.
the shot.
All right, so 1 point match. Takedown wins it. Takedown wins it.
50 seconds to go, third stanza. 3-2 your score.
Master Giovanni kind of controlling the center there in a great stance.
Ashton going to need to find a shot. He's got 35 seconds.
Ashton's got to open up here. There you go, buddy. Open up. Get your elbow down. That left-handed underhook is stifling everything he wants to do, and then he's shooting off of it. That was a smart attack there on the edge. He scores this, the match is pretty much done.
Little
There's
roll
two.
through, that's 2.
Smart wrestling.
15 seconds to go. So 5-2, and that'll basically do it with 10 seconds left. But kind of a good, a really crafty shot right on the edge of the mat.
Not a bad performance by Logan, but he's got to step it up and create more offense if he's going to be a guy like Trevor Mastro Giovanni.
A couple of moments in that matchup that you pointed to. One was just maybe reaching back just a hair for a split second.
Yes, which caused him to give up more riding time there in the third period. He didn't have time for that. This match is going to be exciting. Big fan of Dayton Fix. Said he's been in the national finals twice. Got second in the world finals this year. This kid has been amazing for a really, really long time. Multiple-time cadet and junior world champion. But Jackson Desario is not any light work. He is scrappy. He's tough. He's not scared. I'm looking forward to this match.
Shot right off the whistle.
Dayton Fix is one of those guys. I don't think I've ever seen him get tired. He's just got a gas tank, and he goes.
Both these guys look big for the weight class.
Yes, 100%. Dayton is huge. He's known for cutting a lot of weight. Ooh.
Oh, shucks it and
Nice.
gets behind.
Hands down, that's 2 points. Get the weight on the hands.
There was no space as soon as he cleared the head. Just a kind of a basic looking drag to complete the 2, but just picture perfect.
Well, Dayton creates so much action. He gives you so much to think about that he gets those easy scores where he doesn't have to put himself at any risk.
It's a real wrestling connoisseur's match.
100%. Jackson needs to do something here. He needs to pull him forward, get the weight down, kind of extend him more. I'd pick that hand up. Dayton right back on the attack. Nice little post single there. Great reaction by Jackson. Jackson's wrestling now. He avoided that inside trip. Get it. Dayton loves to be in that overhook, that left-handed overhook.
2 points on the board for Fix, and then just the stand-up for Jackson.
I heard Dayton's father, Derek Fix, yell out some instructions there. He's one of the assistants on the Cowboy staff. Great high school coach himself. I believe he's running the RTC for the Cowboys now. Nice little boot scoot. Get your hips back. Get your hips back. He wants to keep him from stepping over that leg. Dayton's trying to overhook with his left arm and pull that leg to his foot so he can step over and Turk that. Right now, Jackson's looking for a stalemate. Jackson's looking for a stalemate. He just might get it. Got to be careful locking his legs around the head there. Stalemate. That was big because that takedown would have really put things more out of reach.
Instead, it's still just 2-1.
Jackson's right in this match.
30 seconds left in the period.
Oh, little reshot again. Very nice.
Good shot.
All right, he's going to try to ride out this period. Jackson needs to try to short time, get one here.
10 seconds.
This is another position Dayton really excels in. The 2 legs in, double boots, as we say. Very strong there.
You can tell how seasoned the guy is when he puts the hooks in, but then they're kind of loose hooks because he knows that he's not going to give them up. He's just going to be able to feel the weight.
100%. He knew what the time was in the period. He was under the arms. He was really no danger there for him.
You see some guys put those hooks in and they're like clamps, and then what it really means is maybe they're not as comfortable to feel the weight.
Absolutely.
a fun first stanza. We're on to the second. 4 points.
He comes up off the bottom of what I call a little baby stand-up. Jackson's doing a good job keeping him down right now. A leg in, kind of a cross-body ride. Right in the ankle and the shoulder. It's a pretty strong position for Jackson. Anchored in, his hips are on top. Uh-oh. I want those hips back on top, Jackson. Dayton struggling a little bit here to get the leg out. Jackson's starting to accumulate riding time now. He's up to 20 seconds. Putting himself back in this match a little bit. Ooh. Dayton likes to do that little cast over where he grabs the outside of the leg and kind of does like a cartwheel over the guy's body. Not really in position to do that right now with the leg in.
Desario was in the direction of a wrestler's guillotine, and then
this
now
is not good.
Kind of
this
playing
is not
defense.
good.
Yeah.
Took his time, got his arm through.
Had an offensive moment there, did Desario, or maybe halfway to one.
Need to be a little more patient.
And that's a half dozen points on the board for the Cowboys wrestler with just all the accolades. Fix is
Dayton gives
extremely
up the,
tough.
yeah, he's very tough. He gave up a little bit of an easy escape right there. I thought he could have rolled out the period.
Yeah, 15 seconds left, and he knew the time. He looked over at the clock.
He did. I saw that as well. Jackson's doing a good job presenting himself right there in the middle of the mat. Yeah, he's taking top. Saw Rob Cole give him the thumbs up, top position.
He did have, like we said, he had a moment in that last.
Well, I think they're looking at it like this is his best chance to win. It's in the top position. You go down, Dayton rides you. You know, you're on the bottom losing, so give yourself a chance here.
It's pretty unlikely he gets in trouble from a points perspective in terms of the dual score, so you're just really looking to collect that W however you can. And he did get a pretty reasonable looking crossbody ride.
Uh-oh. This shows you how strong Jackson really is. He's a physically strong guy. Need to block that knee down. Try to get him flat there. He's looking for some sort of like guillotine. Cross face far shoulder. Now he's got an overbar on the left side. This is good. This is good. Not scoring points there. It's going to be hard to turn this athlete over.
It's a showcase so far for Desario, even trailing by 4 points.
100%. Yeah, this is a good showing for Jackson. Dayton, not so much. He's more expected to blow through this match.
Even just stuff like wrist control has looked good for Desario.
Excellent job on top, really. Now he's amassed almost 2 minutes of riding time on Dayton's fix. Think about that. That's pretty good. He's going to ride to lose here, but he's sending a message.
The riding time is 2 bills and 30 seconds to go in the third.
Uh-oh, be careful.
He needs 3 with the riding time.
Dayton gives up a stalling call on bottom. That's never a good look.
That's wild.
I see the Oklahoma State coaches dropping their heads over there. They're not happy with this performance. Uh-oh, don't give it up. Wrestle, wrestle.
2 seconds left.
I gave him the one. It'd have been nice to finish on top, but that's a moral victory.
Pretty good showing.
For Jackson. Not bad. I told you he was scrappy. Okay, no Carter Young today. Thought we might see Carter Young. It's Ben Hone, Dusty Hone versus Jason Miranda. Jason is a Poway product, one of the best high school programs in the state. I believe Jason was a couple-time place winner in the California State tournament. Really hard to do. He's a little undersized for 41. I think up to the challenge, though, for Dusty Hone.
Dual score 6-0 in favor of the Cowboys. Myself, Chris Fitzgerald, alongside Brahman Creighton.
Dusty Hone, kind of a yeoman worker type athlete. He's an older guy. He did a mission trip coming out of high school. And then he was able to break into the lineup when the great Cade Brock got hurt last year. He had a season-ending knee injury, and Dusty took over at that time and actually made it to the national tournament and had a really good showing at the national tournament last year.
It's absolutely wild. We were talking about it to see someone even in their mid-20s,
right,
in the shape to wrestle collegiately. It's cool to see.
Well, all Dusty's teammates and coaches say he's a very hard worker. Not the flashiest wrestler, but he gets the job done.
It's a real benefit to any program to be able to lend that kind of maturity outside of the coaching staff as well.
Yes, 100%. Jason doing a good job of not giving up two there. Square up with him, Miranda. Square up, square up. Come on up to your feet. Square up, square up. See, trying for that scramble too soon. Too soon. He didn't have to do that. All he had to do was continue to square up.
It looked like maybe that roll through was just a familiar movement to him, like maybe he has exceptional success with it, but against a real lanky, tall guy who's behind your hips, it's just not going to.
That's a good call, Chris. That's, very popular in California, leg passes and trying to shoulder roll out of takedowns. Doesn't work as well on this level. I do see big Daniel Cormier, DC, over there to our right in the stands with his crew.
We had a feeling we might see him, Oklahoma State guy. And this is
not a good position. He's got a bent leg Turk on him.
Everything except back points right here.
This is a punishing hold. Let go of the ankle there. Jason's got to get that leg out. He's got to get to his base.
See John Smith on the corner of the mat, barking instructions, trying to get that turn from this position. He can kind of just go to it as he pleases.
Yeah, he's flat down there. And Dusty's not the type of guy to cut and release like a typical cowboy. He's going to try to grind you out on the mat and turn you and hopefully pin you. So Jason's got to keep his arms. Can't let the guy get the wrist like that.
10 seconds.
Uh-oh. So mentally, that's a tough period for Jason. Got taken down, rode for a minute and a half, minute and 46 seconds. Yeah, I would take neutral as well.
2-0 to start the second period, but Brahman, you're right. That was a punishing period.
Hone is obviously physically stronger than Miranda. Like I said, I think Jason could probably make 33. But stepping in here for the real guy, the real Woods. The real Woods is a real one, and he would have been definitely the favorite here tonight at 41.
They gave just a couple extra ticks of riding time by accident to start the second period, but if that becomes relevant, then it would be a fantastic showing for Miranda from here on out.
Uh-oh.
Snaps the head down, almost cupped the foot.
He's got double hooks here. Uh-oh, get it!
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow, get it! Dusty Home got out of position there. Jason almost made him pay. Wasn't able to settle his weight in and keep him on his back. He let that momentum roll through. Dusty just stayed with the single leg, came up on top. Now the leg's back in the same position we were in the first period.
To the naked eye, that looked very close to a scenario where Miranda was going to stay on top.
It looked like it could for a second, but you could see that the momentum. Now Dusty's on his own back here. John wasn't happy about that.
Guy's been at Oklahoma State forever and still just watching every match like it's the last match he'll ever coach.
Well, John Smith takes a very personal approach to his coaching in his room. I've been in his room several times, and he's still in there every day, coaching every practice, very much into the development of his athletes. One of his philosophies is, you get 5 blue chippers and 5 in-state guys, and you develop them all, and you can win a national championship. And Coach Cole is approaching it a little bit differently. He's looking to recruit the best kids he could possibly get. He gives a lot of control to his assistants, and he's got some of the best assistants that you can get. Vincenzo Joseph and Grant Leith, Francis Enoch Francois, Dr. Enoch, I should say. All right, you're a little too high, Jason. Too high.
He's got to.
Don't get pinned.
Tries to roll through here. We said that might be a movement that he just likes,
yeah.
But it's just
too much risk for this level. Too much movement. Not enough position.
Can do that.
Got a slight injury time here for Miranda's holding his knee.
Can't hear what he's saying, but
it looks like he's rubbing the outside of his knee. Don't want to get hurt this early in the season. Wrestling, just like boxing, you got to protect yourself at all times. Protect your joints. Protect your body.
Seems to be okay, but we'll kind of just put an asterisk by it.
So he's pretty lucky here. They let him remain in the top position. I thought that was an imminent reversal, if not at least one. Okay, not a bad lift. Start pulling guys on top of you. That's when bad things happen. That's when bad things happen.
Going for that kind of crab ride to mat return. I mean, why is that so low percentage at the college level?
Well, when you're in a backstanding position and you're both, from referee's position, you need to pick that guy up and put him down. If you pull him on top of you, these guys have so much balance and awareness. They're going to hip heist. They're going to switch their hips and usually end up in trouble just like Jason did. I'm sure the coaches will work on that this coming week, mat returns, and not pulling the guy on top of you.
Just kind of a stylistic thing, similar to the roll, it seems like.
Yes.
We're looking for just the difference in a high percentage move against a certain guy as compared to another guy. You're not going to find too many guys on this Oklahoma State squad that are going to, get their feet kicked out from under them, et cetera, which is kind of what we're seeing.
Correct.
It's an 8-0 scorecard at the moment. Miranda has had some moments where he's looked relatively in control as well. I mean, the first roll that you alluded to, he was in a controlling position to even get kind of in that direction. It was not a defensive roll, but then we saw the defensive roll later, and then since then it's just kind of just been
just not staying solid all the way through the positions. One of his teammates, Real Woods, is really good at that backstanding pullback position. So there's a chance that he's probably working out with Real Woods and has had that done to him, so he thinks it works. I think the better position is to pick the guy up, put the guy down hard.
And maybe it
Get
does
your
work.
Weight on top.
Maybe it does work in a practice room where you wrestle with the same guys. It's just hard to tell how studied someone is at that movement.
100%.
If you haven't wrestled with them a bunch, right?
100%. All right, here's the one I've been looking forward to. Jaden Abbas, hometown favorite here. Jaden was a 2-time California State champion. I've known Jaden since he was a little boy, watched his development. What an awesome guy. And this is the one where the Stanford is favorite. Gefeller, who's also an older guy. Caden's been around a long time. He's in that class with Cade Brock. Gefeller from Heritage Hall High School, Oklahoma. There it is, sweet pick. Jaden is a technician. The coach has called Jaden the hardest worker in the room. Hardest worker in the room. I know Grant Leith, Coach Leith, has taken a big liking to Jaden Abbas, trains with him every day. Jaden likes those elbows. That pick.
That's a good shot.
Kind of a
ankle pick.
Tadiv. So Tadiv was an Olympic champion, beat Jamil Kelly in the Olympic finals. He does something very similar to this. Looks just like his father doing it, Jerry Abbas. Great technique. The Feller's dangerous. He's no slouch. He's been around a long time.
Four on the board for Jaden.
Jaden's going to keep going back to that elbow on that pick until he can stop it. He's looking for that now. He controls that elbow. Oh, there's a little. Uh-oh, watch out. Jaden's very comfortable scrambling. I'd like to see a little less of it. Protect your body.
Flexible guy.
Extremely flexible. Extremely athletic.
4-2.
Gonna keep working. He's a takedown guy. He wrestles most of the match on his feet. Look for him to get that right hand across and collect the wrist again. Put his left hand on the elbow and get his right hand and take that wrist. There it is.
What a crafty shot.
He's clean. He's clean.
Right in front of us.
Give us something to cheer about here.
One of the better takedowns we've seen today. And the lead is 4 now for the sophomore out of San Diego. Mentioned that kind of Poway area, and really all of California now, when you get south of San Jose, is just really strong in wrestling.
Absolutely. Jaden went to high school at Rancho Bernardo, but most of his development happened when he was living in Kern County, in the middle of the state. More of a Fresno guy. There it is. Woo! Sweet.
Central
Comes
Coast.
out, splits the middle. He's looking for that Turk. Jaden is so good in these positions. He's going to finish this.
He's got 15 seconds
He's going
to
to
work.
finish this.
The shoelace bite is pretty strong. He might not
yes.
be able to turn it around.
The feller is no slouch. He's no slouch. He's a strong, mature athlete.
That was a fun round.
No problem. 6'3", Jaden's got 56 seconds of riding time. He's going to start pouring it on now.
Super fun round.
Jaden's been hyper-focused this year. I've watched him train and come in for extra practices and work on his footwork and work on his strength training. He's on a mission this year. Next week, there's a possible showdown between him and Yanni Diakomahalis. I know he's been thinking about that match for a while. Stanford's traveling to Ithaca next week. Easy escape. Now he's in his wheelhouse now.
That was maybe one of the easier ones to schedule if you're thinking about kind of the optics of Stanford scheduling this year.
And there's going to be some bad blood, I think, that weekend. Everybody's talking nice, but I think it's going to be interesting.
Fun one in the cold.
Sweet. There it is again. Little fake drag. It was so clean, the fake, you can barely see it. But you got a reaction out of Gefeller, which left his leg there, and Jaden's able to capitalize. What a takedown. He is a pure technician.
And right to that ankle, cupped it easily. Knows where his opponent's going to be at all times.
Well, I think as Jaden matures, too, he'll get even more dominant in the top position. You know, something he probably will increase his scoring ability as he becomes a junior and a senior. He's only a sophomore.
Everything looks, to my eye, to be relatively tight.
Jeez.
45 seconds to go.
Redshirt sophomore.
Everything appears to be fairly tight, and then maybe if the speed improves over time.
Oh, yeah, he's just going to get stronger and bigger. I could see him at 57 eventually. He's just tearing up those ankles.
And from where he is now, if you're going to manufacture kind of where you add strength and weight, what do you focus on the most?
As far as if I was Jaden?
Yep.
I think he's doing everything right. He's really getting strong all over. What a takedown. He's chasing it down. He's out working here. Gefeller's not even trying to win this match. No, he's working on his upper body. He's working on his lower body. He's working on his little muscles. He's working on the big muscles. And you can see he's in the building right now. He's got his swag.
Half the crowd gives him a proper standing ovation.
Gefeller looks sort of mentally defeated here. Body language is not good. I've seen him wrestle a lot tougher than this. Gefeller actually wrestled. He made it all the way to the Southern Scuffle Finals the year before last, where Real Woods beat him in the finals. So this program's familiar with Gefeller.
Interesting little wrinkle there. 11-5 is the score in this particular.
Stalling call. Jaden is on the attack.
Wow.
He's on the attack. On the attack.
Wow, just
outstanding.
scoots around to the back.
He's killing him now. Coaches are telling him to cut him. Open it up, Jaden. You can see the look on his face is serious business. He's looking for the next attack. His eyes are focused on the guy's hips. I love that little swag he does. I know he's going to get a score when he does that little shimmy with his shoulders.
It's 14-6, and you know when the guy just kind of gives up the slow cut that it's green light day.
100%. 1 minute to go. See if Jaden can get one or two more takedowns here.
So confident.
So confident. When you take the guy down that many times, you got a good reason to be confident. Get one more here, Jaden.
He's got 35 seconds to work.
He drops his head to that side. I knew it was coming. He's looking for that Abyss shuck. That's a crowd favorite. Uh-oh, come on. 15. Looks like he's going to have a 15-6 victory with the riding time. Uh-oh, get it.
2 seconds left. He's
oh,
close.
Man. Almost got another two. What a beatdown. Way to go, Jaden Abyss. Yeah.
He's
all right.
excited.
Coaches are pumped about that.
Good showing.
Jaden says, this is my mat, baby. Here's his boy, Real Woods, to give him his dap. Love it, love it, love it. Here we go, Charlie Darcott. Charlie's got a tough match here. Expecting to see Wyatt Sheets come out on. There it is, Wyatt Sheets. Wyatt Sheets is the son of Cowboy great Mike Sheets. Mike Sheets, very nice guy, fabulous wrestler in his own right. Legendary Cowboy. Wyatt does a lot of the things that his dad was good at. Got a great high crotch, very tough on top, very strong. Charlie's another strong wrestler. Charlie's up at 57 today. I think he's a little undersized. He's probably a natural 149-pounder.
Mat wrestling here. 30 seconds down.
Sheets is down low to the mat. He's trying to threaten him with that low single and that foot fire. Moving his feet, snapping at the low single. Trying to make Charlie respect that shot. I like that fake he's using.
Interesting look from Darcott here, kind of reaching out, but not overreaching. Keeps the balance almost perfect.
Yeah, he stays in fairly squarish stance. Keeps very good position. Charlie's really strong.
Sophomore from the state of Georgia.
Got a couple of Georgia guys in the lineup today.
It's listed at 5'7", which is not good news for my height metrics. I might have to get that checked on.
That might be some football stats right there, 5'7", I don't know. I also claim 5'7".
We'll have to stand next to each other in a minute.
Nice reshot by Wyatt Sheets. He's on the low level. He's going to want to come up underneath that leg. There he is. Okay, Charlie's trying to pull that knee out. Got to protect the athlete there, ref.
Cutting weight might be the only thing that makes you potentially shorter in the long run that's actually a net benefit to your life, despite, you know, some physical things maybe being adjusted.
I'd like to hear your philosophy on that later, because that's interesting.
The idea behind the discipline, I think, is worth a lot.
I see.
So maybe the direct correlation of cutting weight, you could argue I might need to zoom out a little bit. But in any case, I digress.
Well, the nutritional part of it, I mean, I think kids got to be careful cutting weight when they're growing a lot. I know my coaches told me, hey, don't have your kids cut weight. You cut enough weight for all of them.
I've got an identical twin. He's 2 inches taller than me. I had to wrestle down. 30 seconds to go in the first. Still no score. Fun first, though.
Charlie hasn't taken a real attack yet. But the way the Cowboys wrestle, they put you on the defense with their style and their stance. Okay, there's a good shot.
Seems like maybe the grips battle has been relatively even.
Yeah, Charlie's doing a good job holding his own in the hand fight, staving off those low single attacks.
Towards the end of the period, it looks like he was maybe doing a little bit of pushing and feeling out.
A little more blocking defensive, which I understand, versus Sheets. All right, come on out of there, Charlie. Sheets, I think, is pretty good in the top position. He's won some big matches over his career. Charlie gets to his feet pretty easy there. This is that backstanding position we were talking about earlier. There's one. There's one. There's one. All right. I'll get to work, Charlie.
Stanford on the board with the first point of the match. Dual score is 10-4.
Oh, nice shot, Charlie.
Deep
Get it.
shot.
Cut off to 2. He's got to get his body around, so he's too much in the crotch there. Sheets has got that crotch lift. He's got to pull that, got to get that foot that he's got off the mat. As long as that foot's on the mat, Sheets has got a lot of leverage there.
Yeah, pretty quickly that turned into more of a 50-50 proposition. But it was a deep shot.
It was a good shot. Good reshot. I would think Sheets would be creating a little more action here. He's been sort of passive, standing around looking at him a little bit too much.
He had an extremely low stance to start the first period, as if he was looking for something different, and that's a good shot.
Yeah, he's kind of gone away from that, but this is all right. Okay, we're in a scramble. We're in a scramble. Yeah. See, Sheets has got to get his hips on top. Got to get his hips on top. Charlie, second time he's got to that right-handed high crotch and ended up in a crackdown position. Sheets obviously likes to sit the corner there and get in the crotch. Very freestyle-ish counter hold. Got short time here, Charlie.
15 seconds.
That's stalling. See him pull him out of bounds there? That was stall. Yeah, the coaches are calling for it. He was on the edge and pulled him backwards out of bounds. That's an easy stalling call. "12 seconds here. Charlie's in this match. He's on his feet, quick. Great mat return there. Right to legs in. I can see Chris Perry's influence on the Cowboy team. Chris Perry was a 2-time national champion for the Cowboys. He's actually the nephew of John Smith. And Chris was a big-time leg rider, big-time 2 boots in leg rider. Sometimes it looks kind of like stalling to me a little bit, but it's effective. It's effective.
A couple of proper mat returns in that first period. Now to start the second. Score looks like 2-1 in favor of Oklahoma State.
Coaches wanted him to let him go right away.
3-1
so he can have more time here to spin on his feet.
3-1
Close the gap.
Stand up. Try to interrupt you there.
No worries. Oh, nice outside step, high crotch from White Sheets. Nice, Charlie. That's 2. He put it down. Stay on that leg. Stand up with it. Stand up with it.
Tied
Rolling
up,
up the
now.
leg. Keep
and
the weight
good
down.
return.
That's a hell of a. Woo! Charlie is wrestling now.
What a sequence.
Charlie is wrestling.
He looks to be the fresher wrestler.
See, now this position, I know this is brand new for him. He's working this ankle ride. This is very much Chinzo style here. Coach Joseph spends a lot of time on that ankle ride in the room.
So if you do that correctly, where do you clip the ankle?
He's trying to hook the ankle and flex his hamstring and get that foot off the ground so he can get weight across the guy and possibly do a cross-face cradle situation, or at least keep him down, keep the weight on him. Looking to cut him right now. 1 minute left in this match. Takedown wins it here. Takedown wins it.
It's a one-point match, 55 seconds.
Charlie is raising his stock here. This is closer than it probably should have been on paper. This would be huge for the Cardinals if Charlie could get this takedown. I think he wants to go right back to that high crotch. He's got 37. He's looking for that high crotch again. Got his hand inside. He's got to have a great setup and one great shot. Oh, low single. Too far across the body. Put it over your head. He's got to put that foot over his head.
Roll through.
Wrestle.
Still has a chance. He's trying to kind of roll through, create some space. He's got 15 seconds.
So now he's 1 for 3 on those scrambles on the legs. 1 for 3. That's not great odds if you want to get your hand raised. He needed to take a shot to Sheets' hips and get through the hips. Instead, he's around the knee joint, down around the foot. He's got too much flexibility. He's going to step around you.
They call that
hard guy to finish on.
That type of a roll, they call it like in jiu-jitsu parlance, they call it a berimbolo. It doesn't really work in wrestling, or at least I haven't. I mean, in high school rooms it'll work if you're good, but you don't tend to see what people actually want actually come to fruition.
That's exactly right, Chris. And what happened is he was able to scrape him back off and get back on top. So that's typically what happens when you put yourself in that position.
Guys,
I see Coach Abbas over there talking to Coach Cole. I like it. He's a great asset. All right, here's the match of the tournament here. Match of the duel. The Travis Whitlake versus the Shane Griffith. Shane, our defending national champion, undefeated last year. Was he undefeated? I think he had 1 loss last year. Travis Whitlake, I had the pleasure of watching him as an 8th grader. He came out here to the Bay Area to wrestle in the junior mid-cow. At the time, I go, this is probably the best wrestler I've ever seen. He was as polished as any 8th grader I've ever seen. Amazing athlete. See, Shane is being a little cautious here at the beginning. It's a big match. Travis likes that right-handed collar. He's looking for a pick. He's looking for a low single. He'll come off the elbows.
Dual score 13-4. A lot of people showed up to watch this one.
This is a packed house now. Travis sometimes has a tendency to wear down a little bit late in matches. With his skill set, I mean, he should be very hard to beat. There's that pick. That was very clean. He better finish this.
Shane trying to
Shane is
taxi
so
his way out of
funky.
bounds.
So hard to score on Shane
Wow.
is. Uh-oh.
Very.
Nothing. He's got to put some weight on that leg. Got to grab that elbow and get his leg. There you go. Get your foot down.
It looks like, yep, whistle blows. That's a heck of a defense because that was elevated and deep.
What a first exchange. What a first exchange. They're telling Travis to go back to that ankle pick.
That particular defense, you hardly ever see that. And it feels like it's kind of on the last-ditch end of things in terms of defending that single.
Shane felt what a grip he had on his leg, and he knew he needed to just get some weight on that foot by getting up on him.
Some guys, though, that's not necessarily a last-ditch effort. They're just very comfortable kind of stepping the other foot up and playing with that funk.
Shane has amazing defense. He's letting him on that collar way too much. Don't let him on your collar.
First time I saw that defense real successfully was a more conventional guy, and not a top guy, but Chael Sonnen, I think, showed that defense. And it was really, really helpful for guys who just have that funk.
Well, you know Chael knows everything.
On brand. Maybe a small age difference between you and him, but maybe not much. I'm just trying to calibrate here.
I'm not sure how I don't usually tell people how old I am. I'm over 21. I'm drinking age.
You look young regardless.
Thank you, sir.
Most of the people watching the stream, I know how can date you pretty well.
Yes, it's not that hard. Travis looking for that over tie collar. He's on that right-handed collar tough. Yeah. You see what he wants.
Just 8 seconds left. He went for kind of a mid-level shot there.
Mm-hmm.
Not high, not low. Looking for a trip.
Okay, that's a great feeling out first period. Lots of action, not many points.
Pretty educated first stanza, I would say.
100%. These guys will no doubt see each other again this year.
It's funny, scoreless to the second was, but yet as exciting as we probably could have wanted in a first
100%.
period.
This is a lot going on out here without much scoring. A lot of technique happening.
Just 9 seconds on the board for riding time. That was essentially an intentional cut. And neutral they are.
So now Travis has got this over collar tie, and Shane's got his hand inside. Get it. Two. Now he's going to try to keep him down here as long as possible.
I mean, he hit that shot from the darn parking lot.
That was nice.
Misdirection and then in on the hips.
When he felt Travis sort of lose his balance, and then he pounced on him, tried to get into his chest a little bit. And this is what I think the coaches were talking about with Travis, where he gets a little bit down on himself and doesn't fire as much as he needs to fire. You cannot rest on the bottom versus Shane Griffith.
Griffith was 3 steps ahead on the shot, and now he's got the ankle elevated, lets it go. Just going to taxi his way out.
Yeah, he's a very smart wrestler where he knows how to control the time and the period. You can bet he's going to try to keep him down as long as possible here.
Half a minute of riding time thus far. And 3 points on the board as well for Shane with the stand-up. Trying to flatten him out. He's not too high, got the leg in. What's he trying to do
I think
here?
they're trying to work that ankle ride, that Chinzo ankle ride position. He's trying to hook that ankle. Here comes a roll of some sort. He's going to try to roll here. Shane killed it. Yeah, it's tough being on underneath Shane. That's tough. I'd say Travis is looking for a stalling call here, looking to get called.
Some guys can kind of no-sell it on the bottom when they're trying to work up. That is not what's going on here.
It almost looked like he was afraid to come up because something worse was going to happen. But he chooses down again. He knows this is his only chance to win this match.
$1:18 in the riding time.
Uh-oh. Okay, now it's over.
He hit a nice switch there.
I don't think he's getting out.
He hit a nice switch, and it just looked like Griffith was nowhere near letting him up, and that's
right.
That's not a good sign when you're on the bottom.
he was almost out and sort of stopped wrestling a little bit. I don't think he's getting out of here.
When you hit your 9 out of 10 move and you get 80% of the way there and just get plunked right on your butt, it's not a great sign.
Well, that'll hurt your confidence for sure. Oh, wow, he's so tough. Wrestle, be smart. Oh, well. Uh-oh, he's got a side headlock now. He's back on the near wrist. Hey, just one step ahead of Travis on the top. He got in trouble for a second. He doesn't want him over that leg like that. You don't want him over that leg. See how he's trying to get both knees on this side of this leg. Shane wants to bump into him with his hip and get his leg out of there.
He could limp leg out. He's just looking for the right time.
He's got to have his arm underneath there before he can do it.
He's got wrist control, so he's not in trouble, or he won't be.
Shane's so comfortable in these awkward positions that no problem there. No problem.
.35 seconds left to go in the second.
Yeah. He's not getting out. Shane is going to finish on top, as we like to say. Finish on top.
He's got one boot across and it's teed off pretty well.
He's going to get back in the crotch here to stay on top. There it is. Both guys looking at the clock a little bit. Great match, Shane. Now, honestly, I expected a little bit more out of Travis Whitlake. He looked good the first period, but as soon as the score happened, he kind of put his head down a little bit. Good win. Good first win for the national champion.
3 points up in the right direction for Stanford. 13-7 is the dual score. The Cowboys still
That could
on
very
top.
well be the national finals right there. Now we got Tyler Eichens, Stanford versus Dustin Plott. Dustin's number 16 in the country right now. Tyler's another guy that could probably be at 65, so I think a little undersized for 174. But definitely a worker.
Establishes wrist control early.
Oh, wow, that was clean.
He had a 2-on-1 like an Iranian tie, but
He did a step behind the leg from that 2-on-1. It's kind of a European, or I'd say just a foreigner sort of hold, very freestylish.
the leg got shelved pretty well, but it wasn't a completely controlling position, and so we're back to neutral. Oh, we're back to, sorry, excuse me. Gave him the 2,
That
which
was
they
2.
should have.
That was 2. That was a good job by Tyler not getting mat return there. Staying on his feet.
Just a shot for the Minnesota native.
You can see these Okie State guys just sort of adapt to the Cowboy way as they get in their room. Their positions and their moves start to become more like their coaches. Tyler doing a good job there. Got double overs. Got to be careful. Got to be careful. Pushing in a little high with those double overs.
It's pretty rare. So I did a lot of broadcasting of the Olympic sports at Stanford, and in, say, swimming, it's just very rare that someone's going to completely change their DNA when they get to the college level. Part of that is just the growth trajectory, and part of that is just the nature of the sport. But in wrestling specifically, you'll see guys come in, and 4 years later, they look like a completely different wrestler just in terms of mindset and also the movements, what they're going for, etc.
I agree 100%. I think, especially in a program like Oklahoma State, where it's so stylistic, the way that they wrestle, and they're definitely forcing a style over there. You're not going to completely go away from who you are, but you sort of adapt to the room.
I don't know if you could answer this better than I could, but I don't know if there's anything under John Smith's tutelage that is going to be a complete world changer just in terms of, in terms of technique. Maybe when someone gets from the high school wrestling room to Oklahoma State, because a lot of these guys are native Oklahomans. Guess what the high school coaches are probably teaching them?
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely. But John is such a world-class technician that, I mean, you think you know wrestling until you get in that Oklahoma State room and you go, I got a lot to learn about wrestling.
He's taught national champions completely different ways to think about even the most simple of movements.
Yeah. He's a world-class coach. He's as good as you get. Anybody that's spent any significant time around Coach Smith ends up being a really good coach themselves.
I mean, Stanford can speak to that as well. They've had guys from Oklahoma State in the last 5-6 years working in their program as well. Olympians even. Stanford, of course, has really hit a home run themselves on the coaching front. It went from Coach McCoy to Jason Borelli.
Yeah, I think that's what's got everybody so excited and why we have a packed house tonight. Obviously, Oklahoma State's in the house, and it wouldn't matter who they were wrestling. People are going to come watch Oklahoma State. But the excitement around the program with Coach Cole, Chinzo, Enoch, Grant, and Coach Ahad too. I forgot to mention Coach Ahad, who is part of their RTC program. Probably the best Greco man I've ever been around. What an asset that Ahad is.
New blood on campus. Crafty stand up there. Minute 40
nice.
to go.
Good hand control on bottom. Good hand control.
The stand up makes it 3-1.
Tyler's got to get a little more offensive.
Shen's trailing by 2.
Kind of lumbering on his feet a little bit, holding a little too much.
Yeah, I was surprised that kind of weight misdirection didn't turn into a shot.
Mm-hmm.
Looked like it could have.
Yeah, Plot probably could have took an attack there.
It's kind of a flow thing. It looked like he didn't really intend to.
Well, you got to remember too, these guys. This is first action for some of these guys, especially the Cowboys. I think this is their first match, so everybody's a little bit tight, a little nervous. My coach, Coach Denny, Mike Denny, he used to always say it takes 20 matches before you really know how you want to feel. Before you know what you want to eat, how you want to warm up, what skills you want to use. Just how do I want to approach this match takes about 20 matches. So this is one of 20 for the Cowboys. Cardinals, they actually wrestled last weekend at the Menlo Open. Did very, very well. They were kind of heads and shoulders above most of the competition there, so it was really more of just breaking into the season for these guys. But some of them have 2 or 3 or 4 matches.
It was a snatch single there that turned into points. 5-1 your score now. 22 seconds left in the second.
Tyler kind of holding those arms. I don't know what he's looking for there, just trying to stay on his feet. Oh, there's that roll. Oh, he got it. He got it. With short time in the period, that's big in this match.
That's big.
He's wrestling. Tyler's got some very tough guys around his weight in the practice room to train with.
I keep looking over kind of to my right. You can't see it on the screen, but Cormier is like 2 rows deep, and then he's got what I thought people were just coming up to him asking for autographs and stuff like that. That's not what's going on. People are just coming up to him asking questions that they have probably about wrestling, and he's answering.
Daniel's an excellent coach. I've had a chance to see him teach, and you might not know. He's an MMA guy. He's a big guy. He's a very jovial guy, but he's a heck of a coach. Like I said, he spent time with John. So
he had Chase Saldate, I think, was in his program. He had a couple.
Chase was amazing. One of the best high school wrestlers I've seen in a long time. My son actually lost to Chase in a shellacking his sophomore year versus Chase was a senior. He's good, really good.
You know how that one's going to go when it's sophomore versus senior and it's Chase, regardless of who the sophomore is.
Most of the time.
Yeah. I don't know what his record was as a senior. I don't know if anyone.
No, he didn't get touched. I mean, he won the Doc B, he won state, he won Super 32s, he won everything.
I think someone took him down. I think once.
Right.
I could be wrong.
Good finish. Hey, Tyler didn't give up on it. Look at John. John's upset. Woo.
He's heated.
I love watching John get fired up.
Faced the other direction for a minute there.
I know I would not want to face John after I wrestled poorly. I'll tell you that much. He's stalling. There's a stalling call. It's only a 2-point match.
7-5.
Okay, John's pointing at the scoreboard. Quick takedown. He could. Hey, there you go.
7-6. There we go.
Tyler's reffing and officiating.
3 seconds left.
Wrestling and officiating. Okay. Good match. Good match. Not a bad showing. Tyler gave himself a chance here. 184. Ethan Woods from Stanford. Ethan's been around the program for a while. And Dakota Gear for the Cowboys. Dakota's ranked 7th in the country. So he's tough. Dakota, I think, is a 2-time All-American. I hear he's an animal in the top position. Kind of got a body style. Looks like a big Coleman Scott to me. It's kind of the way he's moving.
They're going to switch. Red and green.
Oh, Woods. Come on, Woods.
I'm not sure what happened.
I don't know what happened there either.
He was in on the shot.
I don't know what happened there.
He was in on the shot, and then he was just kind of askew.
I think he felt those hips and was like, oh, no.
Yeah, see if we can watch it again. Kind of an odd movement.
Yeah.
The Minnesotan works from the bottom.
Yeah, he felt those hips.
Exactly what you said.
And his head was about to get pushed to the center. He just stopped wrestling.
What do you teach guys to kind of, like when you get that moment in a match where you just feel a different kind of pressure than you've been used to in practice, particularly early in the season? What do you tell guys in terms of how to get the mindset right?
Well, I think you have to make a decision right away in a match. How am I going to win this match? If he's way stronger than you, then obviously you're going to have to wrestle from the outside. If he's way quicker than you, then you need to grab him and put your hands on him and slow the match down. Put him where you want him. So it's a split decision to decide how am I going to win this match. You know, I like to ask, some of the kids that I train with and coach, like, not how do you feel or are you ready? I like, how are you going to win? Can you articulate to me how you plan to win this match? And when they can give you a plan, then, as a coach, you feel better.
I might borrow that.
They're thinking about stuff in the right way, and that gives you confidence as a coach. Plot, tough on top, as I was told. A hammer on top. He's using that same ankle ride that Vincenzo likes.
He looks incredibly comfortable.
Yeah, he's tough and long. Kind of like I said, a big Coleman Scott type frame on him. So that roll through tilt. Really one of the best moves in folk style wrestling, I think, is that roll through tilt. Very hard to stop.
He gets 3 and then rolls it back, and he looked so comfortable the whole time with 15 seconds left now in the period.
tilt positions, you're on your back too. So those are an acquired skill that you have to get comfortable holding your opponent on his back while being on your back and being conscious of that position. That's not easy. Ethan's a big, strong kid. He's a little short for 184, which I think can probably cause some problems when you get a long guy like Plott and has all that leverage. Sure what that caution was for.
This matchup at 184, buck 97 and 285 left to go.
Good hand control by
16-7
Plott.
Cowboys.
Plott's a little bit, I'd say, well, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you, Chris. Ethan's a little bit outmatched here. What do you think?
Yeah, it feels like, and that's a deep shot, right? On cue, kind of.
Clean, low single from the big man.
Brahman, you were saying that there's a couple of looks that he really likes. I mean, the tilt from the back just looks so natural.
You can obviously tell that's one of his bread and butter holds. Whenever you get a wrist and a cross wrist, really you should be looking to score back points. He's working with his hands extremely well. He's pulling and snapping and clubbing. See how he got to the hamstring right away? And Ethan's got no drive on his shots. He's dropping underneath. And he's basically beat when he takes the shot. He's beat.
Cautionary allowance here to let him back up, and you saw that one coming.
Well,
You're just going to look for a turn and kind of half let him up.
oh, it's clean. Woo. That was nice. He anticipated that, struck that ankle as soon as he turned around. If I'm Ethan, if I'm in his corner, I'm telling him, hey, just get tough. Just get tough. Make him fight for everything. First thing is getting back to your feet. You got to get off the mat here. You can see Chris, he's just floating on top. He's not trying that hard in the top position now.
Shins on the crease of the knee, kind of a familiar sight.
Yes, scooping that ankle. It's becoming more and more popular in college wrestling is this ankle ride position.
Even 5 years ago, I don't think I saw it all that much.
Very Penn State-ish. I know Cale Sanderson really likes that. A lot of his guys use it. Kind of a copycat league, right? We're just watching what works. Let's do that too. Optional start, third period.
Oftentimes you get coaches kind of doing what they were best at, but more so now in coaching and wrestling too. Everyone's just so educated on being able to kind of dictate what works best for each specific wrestler. I know that was a big, wow, spins right behind.
Well, look at the way he's using his hands. He's working his hands to the leg, his hands to the ankle. I think this guy's going to do pretty well this year.
Yeah.
I've been very impressed with.
It says he's
this is
number
Gear. This is Dakota Gear. He's number 7 in the country. He's no
number
joke.
7, man. He's going to give people a lot of problems.
He's no joke.
You could just kind of picture what some of the matchups will look like for him this year.
Yeah, I see a tech fall coming here this match. He's working for the tech now.
That wasn't a sloppy shot, but it was kind of aligned with some of the shots he's been able to finish today.
Yes. He didn't get to the ankle quite with his hand. Okay, it's over now. Jesus.
That's a fascinating predicament there, is the question of, if you're taking kind of a half shot, but it has worked for you earlier on in the match, can you still take maybe a slightly less fundamental shot?
Well, absolutely. When you're working like this and the guy's breaking and you can feel him breaking, you just keep pouring it on. Just keep working with your hands, working with your shots. This is probably the biggest mismatch we've seen all day. Like I said, he's a takedown away from a tech.
It's got 48 seconds left to work, 20 to 6. And 27 now with the optional start.
And he's got 4 minutes of riding time as well. He's going to that same low single. There it is. That guy's a worker.
That'll do it.
All right, get excited for this next match. I think Nick Stimmett. Nick's been around for a while. He's tough. He's ranked number 25 in the country. But we got Mr. Fast Switch himself, AJ Ferrari. He is fun to watch. This guy's Instagram page is a hoot.
Mr. Fast Twitch.
Mr. Fast Twitch. I follow him. He's entertaining to say the least. Cocky, confident, borderline cocky, but it works for him. He's a young horse, I'll tell you that much. See if Nick can make this a match. Nick's been working very hard this year. He's tough. Mr. Fast Twitch has sort of a funky style, kind of herky-jerky, and then he explodes. See that sort of awkward motion he's doing, almost like he's baiting him into doing something.
Tried to maybe arm drag there from almost like a third of the way across the mat.
Right.
Different look than what I'm used to.
He's a big kid.
Especially for big guys.
Oh, look at that. Jeez.
Oh.
Jeez.
And on the hips.
He got 2 hands on the leg. It was over. He had a great interview at the NCAA championships last year after he won his championship match. He's talking about how he's deadlifts 600 pounds, 600-pound deadlift. It was pretty funny.
A weightlifter who wrestles.
Oh, he's serious about weights.
Some guys talk about that, how they have to kind of cool off a little bit on the weight room journey. You get a good strength and conditioning guy, and you're just a workhorse.
Well, I think that's been a big part of his development is been in the weight room. His father's a big old guy, obviously lifts some weights.
And he looks like the not to get too into it, but the stabilizer muscles and all the stuff you really want. He just looks like he's in full form.
Right. Uh-oh. So strong that he can just get out of danger like that. Gets out of position, almost on his back, and just powers off of his back. Nick almost had him there. What did they call that? No change.
I mean, it looked close to one.
That was very close. Get very close to him, stepping over him all the way.
Yeah, we're watching it back here. That's rough. That looks like one. To me,
could have been.
To the naked eye.
Could have been.
They don't have replay today.
No.
For the duel.
That toe's in bounds. They're still wrestling. That toe stays in. They're going to let him wrestle outside of the circle as long as one body part is in of one of the wrestlers. You see that?
What?
So I've seen him do this before where he starts his referee's position. He starts on one side, then he sort of switches last second to the other side. It's pretty nifty.
Crafty. We'll watch it back here.
I've seen some high school wrestlers modeling that. He added a little wrinkle to it where he actually sticks his hand out on one side like he's going to grab the elbow. See that?
I like that. Ambidextrous start.
Yeah. All right, now Nick's flat. This is tough position to recover from here. Still a close score, only 2 points on the board. The Ferrari's so powerful, he doesn't really have to be a volume shooter, you know. Like the last guy we saw from the Cowboys, Gear, he's a volume shooter. He probably took 27 shots that match, where Ferrari hasn't taken too many shots.
So much so that looking back, I mean, it in the match, it was hard to ascribe this to Greer, but he was, in some senses, throwing changeups.
Yeah.
Like some of the shots were not intended to be anything, but they weren't feints. They were just a changeup, and then he had a faster version of the same shot.
I agree 100%. He was working his hands and working his feet and just flowing and taking what Woods gave him. There it is again.
Even when the whistle blows, he's got kind of a different look. He never really cupped the elbow.
He's very awkward wrestling. And that wasn't a great shot. It's just a power shot. Look, he just running through the guy.
I mean, he was trying to just go full Burrows there.
I don't know if he played football in high school, but he looks like he did.
That was a weight room shot.
Yeah.
I deadlift 600 pounds. Let's go.
Well, Nick had a very good high school career too. He was, I think he was a high school national champion maybe once or twice.
We're watching it back,
just powerful. Not real clean. He puts himself in positions where he can use his power all the time.
Pretty good balance here for Nick.
It's a nice high crotch.
He's going to beat that shot.
And Nick can wrestle.
Was trying to work up off that underhook. Did so.
Uh-oh. Wrestle. Nick's back. See, he's too strong.
That reshot turns into 2 every time. Might turn into near fall points.
Yeah. He gets so deep, he just takes it from you. Whenever you get that sort of cutback finish and you got the guy on his hip and the bottom leg high, it's always potential for back points there.
He's talking to the ref.
Yeah, which is hilarious. He talks to everybody.
Trying to negotiate points.
He's talking to the ref. He's talking to his teammates during the match. He's talking to the coaches.
Second
9-1 is your score. You see it on your screen.
Uh-oh. Jeez. He's so entertaining. It's hard not to like him.
He's just kind of trying stuff.
All that activity got him that stolen call as well.
And it was kind of, the last little bit of it was activity with quotes. He pointed to that earlier.
Agreed.
So he knew exactly where he was in the ref's mind. And now we go to the third.
He does some things that just are so impressive power-wise. Get a sense for how strong this guy really is. See, what is this? What is this he's doing here? Go ahead, shoot. When somebody's so obviously sort of baiting you to take a shot, it throws you off.
He's got a staggered stance, like it's point karate or something.
Right. That was a long shot he took.
Back leg was all the way back, and he led with the front leg.
See, at this point, when you don't fear the guy taking you down at all, then you can do stuff like that. Nice.
Right behind. Cut some loose immediately.
Come on, Nick. Come on, Nick. Stay in the match, buddy.
he's standing straight up and down, too.
This is the point in the match where they start working on stuff that they've been working on in practice. See that bottom leg? When you can cut back the bottom leg like that, there was an opportunity to put him on his back there.
It's an intense shot.
You got to be extremely strong to pull that bottom leg in with your head on the opposite side and pull that hip through.
It's just a strength shot.
Takes a lot of power.
Saw him kind of go for that exact shot earlier, and it worked out once, didn't work out the second time. Here, the third time, it was just cake.
What you can see is as soon as he gets his hands locked, it's basically over.
Yep.
If he can't get his hands locked, then you got a chance to stop him. Wow. Nick has got to get one takedown here. He's got to get one takedown. Go ahead, take it. I would shoot ahead outside there. Get it!
Got to pull him back in.
Man, he's tough. Man, he's tough. A lot of action for a 197-pound match, I tell you.
Yeah, 15 seconds to go.
Oh. Oh. If John points down like that, that means finish on top. Okay.
16-3 with the riding time.
Last match of the night. Peter Ming is tough. Coach Ahad's a big fan of Peter Ming, says he wrestles with reckless abandon. What was that? Did you see that? What was that?
I didn't see it.
He rocked the baby.
Wow. Yeah, he was.
Future
I
WWE.
Yeah, I saw he was animated afterwards.
Yes. Okay, we got Peter Ming versus Luke Serber. Luke Serber is the son of Matt Serber, who's a great coach from Tuttle, Oklahoma. Got a couple sons that wrestle. Luke was a NCAA runner-up for Central Oklahoma Division II back in the late 90s. Tough takedown for Serber.
Active match already. I saw that on the replay. It's cool. You can point something out and I just catch it.
I think he was undersized coming into college for heavyweight. He's put a lot of weight on.
I saw him walking around and he looked almost big for the weight class.
Right.
It's crazy.
Right. He's a big kid. Now, Peter Ming had a really good weekend last weekend at the Menlo Open. Dominated the Menlo Open. And really got after it, had some good wins.
You know, it used to be the case that people wouldn't really cap out always at the heaviest weight, but these days it just seems like everyone's coming in big.
They're getting bigger kids up there. Sort of the light heavyweight days, you don't see as many of those as we used to. I chalk it up to just kids are getting better all the way around. And now you have actual big guys that can really wrestle.
I also think possibly, and you could speak to this better than I can, but at a younger age, maybe it's the case that there's more of a path to wrestling than football.
There can be.
And part of that's on the wrestling side, but a lot of it also is on the football side as well.
Yeah, both highly competitive, at the varsity level in high school and obviously at the college level. But, I chalk it up to there's just so many more All-American type guys that are coaching little kids now.
Yep.
Back in the day, if you want to get All-American type coaching, you got to actually go to the college. Now there's, clubs and private coaching, and it's making a big difference.
You're talking about it here in California. There's there's just, you could maybe a half dozen people who are just program builders at the high school level, and you can point them out from north to south. And that, when I was in high school, you had to go pretty far south to start that count.
Yes.
had to get maybe to Clovis or in the Fresno area to even begin to think about it. Now you've got a guy who's here in D.C. at Gilroy, and then you just kind of go south from there.
Yeah, Gilroy's been really good for a long time. You know, at the CCS level, obviously they're dominating the CCS for a long time, but now they are really showing up on the national scene. Got a school like Poway, you got all the Clovis schools, a school like Oakdale up north, some good coaches in this state.
Those guys funnel to West Coast programs that are still relatively healthy at the college levels. Schools like Cal Poly.
Well, yeah, thank goodness we got Stanford back, and Cal Poly is really humming now. Cal Baptist is basically in their first year of competition this year, so we wish them luck. They're in the Big 12. That's going to be tough. Serber goes down. I like my athletes to take bottom first, especially if they're winning. Then they get a chance to build the lead, as opposed to giving that point right back to the other guy. Nice drop in, Peter. Good refinish. Good refinish. Stay on top. I stopped wrestling there. That's could be fleeing if you. That was two. So that was just a mistake right there. That was a big swing in the match, points-wise. Has an opportunity to stay on top riding. Instead of staying on top and maintaining control, he actually gives up the reversal. Did not have to do that.
Yeah, we saw it here. He went from the ankle to the waist and was maybe close enough to the edge. He could have pushed right into our table. Still at the ankle.
Absolutely.
Think
definitely close enough to the edge to not give up the reversal.
Think he'd like to have that one back.
Yeah.
Minute and 30 to go, or a few ticks more. 4-0 the score here.
So this is what coaches hate to see, is your athlete flat on the bottom. Can't be flat. Not much you can do from flat. Watch out. Okay, nice exchange of position here. Guys are wrestling. That's pretty good by Serber. Oh, nice Granby. All right, Peter's wrestling.
A couple of moments where both wrestlers
Ooh.
helicoptered their way through.
That was clean. Low single, misdirection, low single. Gave up the take. Nope, not yet. Got to get your right knee up. Got to get your right knee up.
From that Turk position, they kind of just flowed right through real fast.
These guys been on the mat a long time.
These guys are both in fantastic shape.
Especially for heavyweights. That was an excellent low single there by Peter. Didn't secure the foot well enough, and Serber did a heck of a job of just scrambling out of that. Sure, Serber's seen a few low singles in his time.
Tried to turn that single into an arm drag and then just kind of cut it all loose and went back to the collar tie. If he spins behind here, that's really something.
Very similar to a takedown that Gear was getting, where they shoot and you're already on that hamstring, making a little half turn, running that corner down.
I mean, it didn't seem like he did much.
No, didn't have to.
I mean, I guess when you teach that movement, I'm going to imagine you teach it something close to that.
Yes. Peter's got to open up here. Take some more risk. At this point, you throw the kitchen sink at him because you're going to lose anyway, so you might as well go down firing.
Tripods
but you don't want to give up the major decision, though.
Today we've seen a handful of people kind of rolling through from that tripod position, something you never really used to see. As you go up in weight, you're less and less likely to see it, but we saw it even at I think 174.
That's such a great point. It's amazing how much scrambling we see from all the weight classes now, because it's become part of the curriculum. You know, scrambling is not this extra thing anymore. Like, you must know how to scramble if you're going to win matches.
Everyone has, at least a little bit of funk now.
Okay, and he's giving up the major now. And want that head off the mat. Well, this is what you would expect. Cowboys are ranked what? Where are they ranked, third or fourth?
Coming into today.
Yes.
Yeah.
Number 4 ranked Cowboys.
4.
So this is what you'd expect from a 4-ranked team. They're tough, top to bottom. You put Carter in the lineup, Carter Young, I think they'll be even tougher.
Couple of high points for Stanford. Good matchup for Shane Griffith. He looked fantastic.
Kind of what we thought coming in. Shane and Jaden were the 2 favorites.
Jaden looked like a very competent and accomplished D1 wrestler.
Jaden looked outstanding today. Great day for him in his debut here of his sophomore year. Shane, that was a really big win for Shane.
He's got years in front of him. Does Jaden Abbas and Shane, a national champion, looking to repeat. So not a great dual finish for Stanford. 29-7 is your total there, but maybe just some final words as myself, Chris Fitzgerald, joined by Brahman Creighton.
Well, we look
what do you
forward
think?
to some more great Stanford wrestling action. I know for a fact Coach Cole is going to bring it. He's going to bring the heat. He's going to get the guys. He's going to get recruits. He's working on coaches. He didn't come here to lose. So we can expect big things from Stanford in the future. This was just a tease. Just a tease.
It's a very fun matchup from my perspective.
Thank you, sir.
Coach, I'll let you say your goodbyes to the people that have been around and have said hi and have welcomed you to the broadcast booth. Thank you for joining me.
Chris, it was a pleasure working with you, man.
It's fantastic.
I hope we get to do this again.
Part of the broadcast. Hope everyone has a pleasant afternoon wherever they were watching as Stanford drops this one 29-7 to the world beater Cowboys of Oklahoma State. We will see you at the game.
Oof.